What is going on, you rink rats and puck bunnies? We're live tonight with Rinkside Chatter. I'm followed along with myself, Dusty, and Scals. What is going on, guys? How has your week in hockey been?
It's been interesting. There's not many games in Leafland, but the two that they played, they seem pretty good.
Between the Leafs and the Rangers, I think we had a total of 4 games all week because the Rangers had that weird 5-day break in the schedule when it's not even their technically 5-day break.
Wow. Yeah.
It came at the wrong time because of how they were playing. I'm surprised they came out and played very well yesterday in their game.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to kind of come back after a lengthy break and come back up to speed.
So on this installment of Rinkside Chatter, guys, I would like to talk about the Global Series, the red-hot Vancouver Canucks, and we'll talk about some questionable calls by the referees this week.
Want to start off
sprinkled
with
in other things along the way, like Willie Styles and 17-point game streak. It's fine. It's quiet. I like it. I'm done talking about the Canucks. What Dusty just said. I think what's happening is these young guys making all this money think they're invincible. I get the first line minutes. I'm going to eat up these minutes. I'm going to play it. I'm going to half-ass it out there. Prime example, Patrick Laine. And Dusty, we just talked about this before we started recording. I said he was a bum. Your exact words were what?
He was a bust.
That's what it's looking like. He's the Neil Yakupov of that draft class.
Like, don't get me wrong. He's still like a decent player. He's still a decent player, and like he's still good for about what, maybe like 20 goals, about 47 points, 50 points, maybe in a year. But like when he was drafted second overall, like he was supposed to be like the big rivalry that you heard chants in Winnipeg. Laine's better. Laine's better.
I mean, Matthews is closing in on 500 goals. Where's Laine? 300?
He was compared to Ovi at the time. When Laine came into the league, he was compared to Ovi of like he's going to be that kind of goal scorer. Right? Like Matthews was never talked about as going to be one of these goal scorers. He was compared to Kopitar before he
was called a game changer. That's as far as that went. He wasn't said to be this fucking elite goal scorer. He's going to be the best American ice hockey player by the end of it, blah blah blah.
So Laine in his career has 200 goals, 182 assists, 382 points in 471 games.
And can we just get a statistic on Matthews? Because
I'll pull that up in a second. But in relationship to how he's done stuff this year, he's played in 9 total games, has 3 points.
Yeah, that's inexcusable.
Y'all remember when Johnny Gaudreau wanted to go to Columbus?
Yeah.
Because he wanted to play fun hockey?
Everything went kind of sour on that team since the Babcock firing. Even the hiring of Babcock, you could argue.
I would say it's more the firing.
Well, like they got bad press for hiring him too. Remember at the time, like he didn't even get.
Well, at least in Canada they did. I don't know if the U.S. did.
Yeah.
But...
So Matthews, 313 goals, 250 assists, total 563 points in 498 games.
Yeah, that's.
But Laine is better.
Well, you can't compare the two.
But like we were talking, these star players, I think it's them just thinking they're better, and they run the show when they really don't.
See, that's where in a way, like I don't feel bad for them because it's like you're the one that went to negotiating table, and you're the one that got and negotiated the salary for that you wanted. So like these Matthews and all that, like you're the one that asked for 13 million. You're the one that asked for the 11 million last contract.
Yeah.
You're going to demand the money. You have to show up. You're not going to be a game breaker every single game, every single shift.
I think coaches are holding players more accountable than they have in the past.
Which is nice to see.
because I've seen it this year with Laviolette as the New York Rangers head coach.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody takes a bad penalty or makes a dumb decision, they get benched for the game, like for a period. Like they lose their ice time.
As it should be.
Alexei Lafreniere earlier this season was healthy scratched from a game.
Mm-hmm.
Has come back, different player.
It lights a fire under your ass.
I don't know if you guys saw his goal last week with the shootout. I think I put it in
I think I remember you putting it in the chat. Yeah,
like ridiculous. Like
He's
that shows
finally-
what the kid could do. Like he's starting to heat up, starting to play better.
break out. You're starting to see how he was a first overall pick.
Mm-hmm. And I've been saying this since the beginning. That the pandemic really hurt those two draft classes the most.
Oh, I agree. 100%.
The only one player that I see that really didn't suffer from it was Jack Hughes, which makes me believe it's because his family, he was still playing with his brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, he kept his skills, everything else. Where all the other players, they didn't have that. They were limited to what they could do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just starting. It's going to take them a little extra time, and now it's starting to show through. Because Kako is starting to play better. Laugh is starting to play better. You're seeing it from other players in those draft classes. Was it Mason McTavish in one of those draft classes?
Yeah.
Look at the year he's having this year with Anaheim.
Yeah.
Nick Robinson with the Leafs.
Robinson. What? Matthew Nyes. What year was his draft?
He wasn't
he 22?
I think so. He was a second round pick, I think.
So he was the year after. So, but I'm saying like it's a little bit of a slower development for these guys because of those two draft classes. And now you're starting to see what those players could do, and that's part of the reason why I think scoring is starting to go up in the NHL.
Exactly.
There's different things.
Yeah, like they had their seasons cut short, right? Like Nick Robertson, right? Like he played
the OHL just stopped.
Yeah, in the OHL, he played here in Peterborough, and the OHL just stopped and didn't resume. That development meant so much. Like some of the American schools, I don't think some of the American schools stopped the season, did they?
Pretty sure everything shut down.
A lot of
other team practices and stuff. I don't.
Yeah, like things shut down completely. Like for sports, they canceled sports seasons between baseball and everything else, and but that's what I'm saying. Like now you're starting to see some of these players, like Cole Perfetti. He's starting to perform with Winnipeg. You're seeing Stutzel with Ottawa. Like you're starting to see these players show up. Forrester with the Flyers is now up. He was a part of that draft class. So it's like, I think now we're going to start to see these names come up and actually play to the potential that people thought they could.
Another name, and it kind of goes underrated. He plays for Washington, Connor McMichael. He's coming into his own in the NHL. Former London Knight. He's really starting to form into an NHL player.
Yeah, he's good. He's a hometown kid of here.
I want to talk for a quick second about the Oilers firing coach, and now seeming to be a little bit back on track here. But I want to tell you guys about a hilarious thing that I found out that I can't get over this. I'm going to take you guys back to the year of 2018-19. The Oilers signed head coach. Do you guys remember who?
Was it Tippett?
No, it was Hitchcock, okay?
Okay.
2019-2020 season, they fired Hitchcock and hired Dave Tippett.
Yeah.
In the 21-22 season, they fired Dave Tippett and hired Jay Woodcroft. Now, we're in the 23-24 season, and they fired Woodcroft and now signed Chris Knobloch. Now, the thing I find fucking hilarious about all this is
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Hitchcock, Tippett, Woodcroft, and Knobloch. Okay?
Yeah.
Their coaching staff is just full of a bunch of dicks. No wonder they're not doing nothing.
I saw that. We actually mentioned that on our podcast too. It was fucking hilarious.
I found
That's
that
funny.
hilarious.
Yeah,
That is
it's
hilarious.
jokes.
So we'll go into the next conversation, and I'd be reminiscent if I bring in Panarin. But no, I don't want to talk about officiating yet. Nylander on a 17
game point streak. Yeah,
which
That's
means the Leafs
incredible.
haven't got a point or have not been shut out in 17 games to start the season.
Rangers are at 15.
When's the last time?
the Leafs were shut out.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2019. It's been almost like I think it's been like 100 and some odd games.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I thought they got shut out in the playoffs a couple times.
The playoffs don't count for the regular season stat.
Oh, that's true. Fuck off, Dusty.
Ottawa last year, April 1st.
What?
Ottawa shut them out.
Okay.
Oh,
Either
no,
way.
No. Never mind. Nope. I'm reading it backwards.
Okay, I was going to say.
That was when they shut out Ottawa.
Yeah.
Either way, my stance on this
it'd be versus the Kings in 2020.
Okay, yeah.
It's still been almost
Before
4 years. Okay.
Yeah, right before the pandemic.
So that's a crazy statistic in its own, given that hockey's the way it is. But William Nylander, 17 game point streak. He's quietly playing himself out of a Toronto affordability.
Do you see how many points he has in those 17 games?
25.
27, I think it was.
Yeah,
27.
that's right.
Yep.
Because I got mad at the Rangers, or not the Rangers, the Penguins. Little stupid thing they had on the screen tonight because they missed. They showed he was on a 16 game with 25 points, and I'm like, that doesn't seem right. Isn't it 17 games? Either way, so he's on 17 with 27. Like he's quietly playing. Well, he's not quietly, but he's playing himself at the affordability of the Leafs.
What do you like? I agree. Like I don't know what you do in that situation with it. Like,
I posed
the question. A player you want to move off the team that you can.
Right. I posed a question on Twitter the other night after the 15th game, maybe 16th. But Nylander, you want him to stay a Leaf? Who do you move? Because you have to move somebody if you want to keep him a Leaf. It's just the way it's got to be. Because you're 2 years out from having that open space to sign him the way you want.
It's got to be Marner.
You say Marner. I say Marner as well, and I'm a huge Marner guy, but I think the Marner experiment might be over.
Here's the thing. As of right now, you will have $34 million in cap space.
Okay.
That's without moving anybody, and that's with Nylander, Bertuzzi, Domi coming off the books, and Brody, Klingberg. How many
we
of
could
those?
let Brody walk because I'm sure we could find a defenseman similar to his style. Klingberg experiment is over in Toronto.
Okay.
In my opinion.
I think he's going to get traded as soon as they get back from Sweden. I think that's already a deal in place, and it's just waiting for him to come back. I think he's going. I think he's
for
the
part of Zadorov trade.
Yep. Absolutely. I think it's already a done deal, but they didn't want to announce it when he was over there because it would be shitty after sending him over there for this to happen.
So they say that they're saying now that he might actually be on long-term injured reserve, Klingberg. They're saying like the trip over tweaks something in his back.
All right. Well, then that's good for you guys. It clears up cap space.
Yeah, but it also takes off a trade chip.
If he's LTI'd for the season, though, it's the Leafs. It doesn't matter.
We're bringing back Phil Kessel, baby.
Yeah.
But
put him on defense. He'll be all right.
So essentially, you need to focus on William Nylander. You signed him for $11 million, right?
No.
Just say, okay. So you said earlier we were discussing, you said 9.9. So let's say 10 million, you sign him. That puts you at 24 mil in cap space with the need to sign.
You can sign
5,
You can
6.
sign Bert and Domi for a combined 9.5 mil.
Okay, so that puts you at 15 mil roughly for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 other players. You better be bringing up a lot of people from your minors.
Yeah.
Hey, Dubas, thanks. But then you move. I say you move out GT. That brings us back up to 21. If you move out Marner, that brings us up to 22.
But man, when you're moving a guy like GT, you're going to be expected to take some sort of salary back.
Yeah, but it's only for one season.
You move JT to California. Move him to San Jose where he originally was going to go.
But two of the players that you'd have to re-sign are RFAs, so you can get them for good deals. One's arbitration eligible. And then you could bring up people that you have on ELCs. So, I mean, you guys have flexibility because you're losing defense.
And the salary cap's going up.
It's going up $4 million projected. Yeah. And then the year after that, it goes up another 4.5.
There's not enough prospects in our pool to even think about doing that. It's going to have to be trade in plays. There's nobody down there because Robinson's up. The two defensemen that we actually want in the Marlies are both up right now. Like, I understand their contracts are on the books already. Like, I get that. But what I'm saying is, other than those two, it's like a deep fall off. Like, there's not much relevancy in the age.
We talked about a trade for Zadorov. What do you see in that trade then? Like
that Zadorov trade, if Klingberg is not LTIR'd, you have to send Klingberg back the other way.
Yeah, I think you're going to look at a guy like Holmberg or Nick Robertson going the other way too, though.
No, I don't think so because they're both only both signed for 1 year.
A Breezy or whatever his name is in the AHL, he could go.
Abruzzese,
he'd bring some help to Calgary.
Yeah.
You could maybe
but
throw
I'm giving up a couple prospects like that, though, I'm going to expect these guys coming with extensions.
I'm not sold on the Zadorov coming to Toronto. I want more of Tanev because he has familiarity with Morgan Riley.
I like both, man.
I like both too, but we can't play the perfect world to get them both, and we're only going to get one. If we do get both, we're giving up a lot.
Tanev has a minimum modified no TC, so
yeah, so he'd have to want to waive it.
You have 3 5th-round picks this season.
Yep.
I mean, first we have like 0.
1.
You have a first, you have a third, you have a fourth, you have 3 5ths and 2 7ths. So if it's just a straight up Klingberg for Zadorov, you throw in a 5th.
Mm-hmm.
I would throw in a 3rd.
But you don't need to.
I would, because then it opens up. You can, if you throw in a 3rd and we want Tanev, we don't have to give up as much giving him that 3rd. We could throw in that lower end prospect.
Yeah, but I'm saying you don't even need to throw a prospect in. You're just doing the trade straight up, and you're doing the 5th.
But what I'm saying is that I heard what you were saying, but I'm saying if we throw in, we want Tanev too, throw in that 3rd, and then a Breezy.
Oh, you mean if they want him as well? Got it.
Yeah.
I say you go for both, man. Like that right hand shot, and then that Zadorov, 6'6", 235 pounds, and he's a son of a bitch to play against.
Let's do this. Let's throw Gio back the other way. Send him back to Calgary.
Gio would be the odd man out on that, dude.
Yeah, but
Gio becomes your 7th guy.
Go captain him again.
He's such a team-friendly deal, though.
It was a joke because, Gio played there for so long.
But I think Gio just becomes your 7th guy.
Which isn't the worst thing for him at his age. It gives him still time to get in there.
Well, it's a long season, right? So, you're going to get injuries and that. If you have a guy like that and you have Lagesson too still.
Yeah.
I thought Lagesson looks solid.
even if you positioned Gio to be on the bench as a seventh defenseman,
Yeah,
and run, what is it? 15 skaters, 7D.
yeah.
It's not the
I
worst.
think what the Leafs are missing what the Rangers have, and I love this player, and I know I say it a lot, but like I love Jacob Trouba. If the
Fucking
Leafs had a
dude.
Trouba on their blue line, throwing those freaking massive hits, even some, I love his hits. The odd one's questionable, I'll say.
Like I said, though, to you, we get Trouba, he just turns into baby shit.
I don't know, man. I'm seeing a lot more pushback up the team. Like
Maybe.
seeing Gio and Domi, stick up for each other in that Vancouver game. Really going to show it. Okay, maybe these guys are going to be like, okay, enough of the bullshit. We will take instigator penalties if we have to. Right? Like you watch the Rangers, how when Trouba throws a big hit, he's usually fighting after, isn't he?
Well, because everybody comes after him because
Exactly.
they think his hits are all dirty.
But do they get instigators?
No, but take it.
No, they don't get instigators because it's against the Rangers.
Yeah. It's so my theory with that is the Leafs never did it, right? So when you see a team that never does it and then they do it all of a sudden, they're gonna call that. But if it's like
you know
they continue to do it and continue to do it, they're not going to do it. Just exactly like Florida, they're not going to call Florida for doing something like that.
Fuck Florida. Also, shout out to the fan in Sweden this week that had the "We Want Florida" sign. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I saw that.
And for everybody at Leafs Nation that said "We Want Florida," go fuck yourselves. Fucking assholes.
You mentioned Willie with his 17-game point scoring streak. You know I can't go without mentioning Panarin's, and 15 is a new New York Rangers record.
Now that you want to talk about a quiet streak, Panarin is on a very quiet streak.
How is he on a quiet streak? He has 26 points.
No, I'm not hearing about it up here. If you didn't
tell me,
because you have Willie up there. If Willie wasn't, if you didn't have that up there, you'd be hearing about it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I don't even hear it on any of our sports broadcasts. Like, they're not mentioning Panarin.
26 points in 15 games. Freaking ridiculous.
I think that's better point pace than Willie's.
I think between Willie and Panarin, the only people they trail is the Vancouver Canucks trio per points in the league right now.
You have
that's an incredible run.
Pasternak has 27 and Kucherov has 27. So if you take away those two, yes, the only three they trail are the three Canucks players.
Okay, well, fuck Boston and fuck Tampa.
But yeah, 26 points in 15 games, and Nylander has 27 in 17. Like craziness.
Yeah, and they're all on pace for between 120 to 145 points this season. Like the combined top 10, I think, is like on the pace between those numbers.
And the whole thing with Panarin is he's actually put in 10 goals. And he normally does. He is always a pass first player.
Yeah, he's a playmaker.
This year, he is shooting this puck, and man, it makes you wonder why he wasn't doing it his entire career.
Because it makes
shot
you.
That he has.
Because he realized you become a double threat. Because now everyone was reading, oh, okay, Panarin's just going to pass, but now
because
in a goalie's head, shot,
in a goalie's head, I got to respect that pass. Now the goalie's got to double think: do I respect the pass or do I respect the shot?
Yeah,
I guess it took him shaving his head to realize this, right?
Sometimes it just clicks in players' heads, right? Like look at you said, laugh.
He cut off his flow this year. He's shaved his head bald.
So he's known as the bread man. Can we just call him a baguette now? But I have a question for the Minnesota Wild coaching staff. How are you going to let Willie do that to you 3 fucking times in 4 games?
Right?
Because you
I
see
know I
it
saw
today.
that.
Fleury cheated and paid for it.
Yeah.
Because he thought Willie was going to go around him. But Willie saw that and took him short side instead. Because you see Fleury's stick go. Like, he cheated hard and he paid the price for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress with the Willie thing. My Willie's cold. It's outside right now. I'm cold. This is the part where I usually ask where we can find us. But you already know where to find us. But if you don't get enough content from Rinkside Chatter, make sure you check out the Stoner Dad podcast, which is Leaf Chatter.
Check it out.
Where can we find it? Where is it on?
You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on TikTok and on Twitter. Why'd that sound really weird?
I don't know.
Well,
but
thank you, everybody.
Oh, fuck you, man. Fuck
What?
you. I don't know. Fuck you. But this concludes the episode of Ringside Chatter. Thanks for watching.
Make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. And catch us next time we're on. See you all soon.
Yeah.
Boom.